So, morning students. Today I will continue the same chapter solid state with you, and today we will discuss that how packing fraction is calculated and how density formula is used. So, in my previous lecture yesterday I had discussed you the close packing of spheres. I told you there that to understand the concept of close packing, is constituent particles are treated as hard spheres. They are treated as hard spheres, and during packing they try to accommodate maximum space which is available. Then 1D packing, 2D packing and 3D packing. Now this ratio of space occupied by the spheres and total space available is called as packing fraction or packing efficiency. So this packing fraction or packing efficiency is the fraction of space that is occupied by the spheres actually. So packing fraction is given by volume of spheres upon total volume of unit cell. And to find out its efficiency in terms of percentage, the formula is to be multiplied by 100 so that a percentage can be obtained. Now let us try to calculate the packing efficiency of simple cubic unit cell. Simple cubic unit cell. So simple cubic unit cell is represented in this way. So anyone can recall what is the meaning of a simple cubic unit cell? Anyone? Any guess? When I was discussing about unit cells, then I told you that classification of unit cells is done on two parameters. First parameter chosen for the classification was the position of constituent particles in unit cell, and second parameter was its edge lengths A, B and C and interfacial angles alpha, beta and gamma, and on the basis of position of constituent particles that are present, these unit cells are of two types. One is a primitive or basic unit cell, wherein constituent particles are only present at the corners of unit cell. And second was non-primitive or centered unit cell, wherein constituent particles are present. Constituent particles are also present at faces or at body center or at two faces apart from the constituent particles that are present at the corners. So, a basic or primitive unit cell only has got particles at corners, and a non-primitive unit cell also has got additional particles apart from the particles that are present at the corners. So when we talk of simple cubic unit cell, that means we are talking about a unit cell where edge lengths A, B and C are equal, and these angles alpha, beta and gamma, they are also 90 degree. And once we say this is cubic unit cell, and if I say simple cubic unit cell, that means what? Constituent particles are only present at the corners of this unit cell. Now, in order to calculate packing efficiency or packing fraction, these particles which are present at the corners, they are touching to each other. So if we look from the top or from this face or from this face or from this face to any face, something like this is seen. These are the spheres. Say for example, this I had named as A, B, C and D. So this is sphere A, this is sphere B, this is sphere C and this is sphere D. In this way they are touching. And this distance, this is edge length A. And from here to here, this is radius of atom R. So edge length is given by A and radius of atom is equal to R. So from here we can say that A is equal to 2R. Now, volume of cube is given by A cube. So it is 2R cube or 8R cube. So this is the volume of unit cell. Then what is the volume of sphere? Volume of sphere is given by 4 by 3 pi r cube. And if you recall, then I told you that total number of spheres present in a simple cubic unit cell is 1. Anyone remembers how it was calculated? These spheres or these particles which are present at the corner of unit cell, each of these particles are actually shared by 8 different unit cells. Every particle is shared by how many? 8 different unit cells. So the contribution of one particle to that particular unit cell is only 1 by 8. So the particle which is present at this corner contributes only 1 by 8 to this unit cell, and there are 8 corners. So the total number of spheres is 8 into 1 by 8, that is 1. So since there is only one sphere in the simple cubic unit cell, thereby volume of sphere is given by 4 by 3 pi r cube. Now packing efficiency is calculated by volume of sphere or spheres divided by volume of unit cell into 100. So what is the volume of sphere? It is 4 by 3 pi r cube, and this is 8 r cube into 100, and on solving this comes to be 52%. So that is how the packing efficiency of a simple cubic unit cell can be calculated. Packing efficiency or packing fraction refers to the fraction of total volume available that is occupied by the spheres. This is the basic thing regarding close packing of spheres, that spheres try to accommodate maximum space available and try to leave minimum space vacant. For a simple cubic unit cell, particles are only present at the corners, and these particles, they are touching to each other in this way. This is a top view or bottom view, or you can say this is a view of spheres. That is how they are placed at these corners. So this distance between centers of two spheres refers the edge length A, and this A is equal to R plus R. So edge length A is equal to 2R, and since volume of cube is given by A cube, so volume of unit cell comes to be 8R cube, while volume of sphere is given by 4 by 3 pi R cube, and since there is only one sphere in a basic or primitive cubic unit cell, so the total volume of a sphere comes to be 4 by 3 pi R cube, and once they are placed in the formula, we get packing efficiency of simple cubic unit cell. Then by following same type of guidelines, we can also calculate packing efficiencies for other type of unit cells like body centered unit cell and face centered unit cell. Now, let us again consider a simple cubic unit cell. This is a simple cubic unit cell, where this is edge length A and these are the particles. Let density of unit cell is given as D, and value of this A, that is edge length, can be determined experimentally by using X-ray crystallographic techniques. The edge length of any unit, crystal lattice, can be determined experimentally using X-ray crystallography or electron diffraction techniques. So from there we will get A. Then atomic mass of sphere is m, and Avogadro's constant is represented by Na. So mass of one atom is given by atomic mass m upon Avogadro's number A. Is that clear? This we have already studied in our class 11th, that Avogadro number refers to the 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 particles, and mass of 1 mole of that atom. Let us take one example to clarify it. Say for example, atomic mass of sodium is given by 23 U. Then its gram atomic mass is 23 grams, which is equal to 1 mole. That means what? That any number of sodium atoms will weigh 23 gram. So 1 atom 23 upon Na, or in simplified way we can write that atomic mass divided by Avogadro's number gives the weight of 1 atom. So this we had already studied in our previous class 11th. So same thing is being written here. Now if edge length of unit cell is given by A, then volume of unit cell is given by a cube, and mass of unit cell is given by number of particles into weight of one particle. So this will give you the mass of unit cell. then density of any substance is given by mass upon volume. And if we apply this formula for a unit cell, then this changes as density of unit cell is given by mass of unit cell upon volume of unit cell. And at this point we should remember the point that density of unit cell is always equal to the density of substance. So density of unit cell D is given by mass of unit cell, which is equal to number of particles in the unit cell into mass of one atom divided by volume of unit cell A cube, or density D is given by Z into M upon A cube into Na. So there are 5 different terms in this formula. D represents density of unit cell, and as I told you that density of unit cell is always equal to the density of substance. Thereby we can also say that this D represents density of substance. This substance could be element, could be a compound. Then what is Z? Z is the number of particles present per unit cell. That could be 1 for a basic or primitive unit cell, that could be 2 for a body centered cubic unit cell, and that could be 4 for a face centered cubic unit cell. Then this M represents molecular mass. If the substance that is under consideration is an element, then this is the this is taken as atomic mass. But if substance consideration is a compound, then it is molecular mass. Then this Na is, everyone knows, Avogadro's constant, or 6.022 into 10 to the power 23, and A is edge length of unit cell. A is edge length of unit cell. So out of these 5 parameters which are given there, A represents edge length of unit cell. Now, out of these 5 parameters which are given there, if 4 is known, then 5th can be easily calculated. And in our course, almost one numerical is asked based on this formula. every year. So we have to keep in mind that D represents the density of substance, which is actually the density of unit cell. Then Z represents number of particles that are present per unit cell. Again to tell you that this Z for basic or primitive unit cell is 1. For face centered cubic unit cell it is 4, and for body centered cubic unit cell it is 2. M is the atomic mass or molecular mass of particle. Now, if substance under consideration, say for example we are considering a crystal of silver, we are considering a crystal of nickel, we are considering a crystal of copper, then this M represents atomic mass of that atom. But if we are considering a compound, sodium chloride, cesium bromide, potassium chloride, calcium carbonate, then this M represents the molecular formula mass. N, Avogadro's constant, that you know, its value is 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 or 6.023 into 10 to the power 23. That doesn't make any difference during calculations. And this A refers the edge length of the unit cell, that is determined experimentally using X-ray crystallographic or electron diffraction techniques. In fact, this formula gives the best possible way to determine the value of Avogadro's constant. So in this module, I had told you that what is packing fraction or packing efficiency. Packing efficiency refers to the percentage space occupied by the spheres out of total space available, or packing fraction refers to the fraction of total available space occupied by the spheres, and it is generally represented in terms of percentage. Then I told you that how packing efficiency of a simple cubic unit cell can be calculated. First we have to convert, this is a simple process. These things you have to keep in your mind. First you have to find out the value of A in terms of R, radius of sphere, so that volume of unit cell can be calculated. Then we have to calculate the total volume of spheres, and to calculate the total volume of spheres, number of spheres is multiplied to the 4 by 3 pi r cube, and finally volume of spheres is divided by volume of unit cell to get fraction, and is multiplied with 100 to get efficiency. Similarly, density of unit cell can be calculated using this formula. Density is equal to mass upon volume. We know, we have learned it from our childhood that density is mass per unit volume. Then density of unit cell is given by mass of unit cell divided by volume of unit cell, and we get this formula where 5 parameters are there, and if 4 parameters are known, then fifth can be calculated. So by this almost completes your half of the chapter. In my next module, tomorrow, I am going to revise all these things which we have studied till this day, and let us take up some questions. Let us take up some questions how they can be solved. Thank you.